Hello, you're very welcome to this special edition of the Under Center podcast. Dara here with you, and have a special guest with me tonight. Speaking to me is the Munich Ravens running back, a former Dara Crusaders player, Tommy Oyewo. Did I get that right? That
That's the one. That's the one. That's it.
yes.
That's it.
Sorry,
That's
I've
it.
been worried about this all day, Tommy.
Yeah, you're
that was
grand.
the one
You're
part I
grand.
was worried
You're
about.
grand.
But
It's not an easy one.
how are you, sir? It's great to have you on the show.
Appreciate it. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Despite the cold weather, still keeping the spirits high and
Yep.
getting
Have
ready
to.
for the new AFI season over here with the Pirates. So I'm
Nice.
looking forward to it,
Nice.
for sure.
Yeah.
Like yourself, sort of in the off season now when it comes to ELF, I'm sure sort of your pals from the Crusaders and especially QB Jordan Farrell, I guessing has been on to you to see if you want to come back this year.
Yep. They have been. I was actually at the award night the other night, which was good crack because I haven't seen a good few of them in a while, and some new faces as well because obviously the team is growing. But yeah, it was good to see everyone. It was good crack.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I guess I should also mention one of the older faces on the team, which I think this was his going to be his last year. The
Okay.
oldest player in the league to play for anybody.
Oh, King Kenny.
Yes, that's it,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, King Kenny. Yeah. Well, hopefully this is his last year. He says that every year, so we'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
Unreal though, 60 and still playing at the level that he is. It's
Yeah,
incredible, isn't it?
it is. It is. It is. Honestly, I don't know how he does it or why he does it, but yeah, he just keeps coming back. He just keeps coming back.
Look, I guess if he's got nothing else to do on a Sunday, you might as well put on a set of pads and hit someone,
Why not?
Might as
Why
well.
not?
Might as
Why
well.
not?
But like I mentioned, yeah, you did play for the Kildare Crusaders of course, as a wide receiver.
Yeah.
We talked previously off air about your time playing wide receiver because we actually got to play against each other your final year for the
Yeah.
Crusaders, the year that you won Division Two. We got
Yeah.
to play both in Newbridge and in Malahide, and I remember
Yeah.
you had a big say in both games.
Oh yeah. Yeah, like I started off as wide receiver because obviously, watching when you get into football, all you see is the quarterbacks and wide receivers. So yeah, I started out as a wide receiver, and then when I went over to Algoy last year, they were like, your body type is more suited to a running back. But I suppose being a receiver kind of worked in my favor as a running back because it made me that bit more versatile in terms of like you don't know if I'm going to catch the ball out the backfield if I'm going to run it. So it all just benefited me in the long run. So yeah, it worked out.
Yeah. Kind of like how the 49ers at the moment use Christian McCaffrey and Debo Samuel
Exactly.
at the moment.
Exactly.
That you can line them up in the slot or you can put them in the backfield. Either way, they could
Right.
still catch the ball or run with the ball.
Yeah. Being
Um,
that more
which is it?
versatile, it does help.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Which is a fantastic trait to have and a nightmare for defenses to try and figure out what the play call is going to be. And you know, such a big year for yourself in Munich with the Ravens. Of course, you finished second in the list for rushing yards, with over 1,000 yards, 15 total touchdowns as well. A great season for you personally.
Yeah. No, thank God for it. Honestly, it wasn't easy. Um, Fell off the rushing title by 14 yards, which was kind of hard to take. But yeah, for the first season, definitely uh, one that I'll remember. So thank God for it.
Yeah, and of course, just missing out by one game in the playoffs as well,
Yeah.
finishing third in the Central Conference with a 7-5 record. I guess it was a little tough to take that you didn't get to see any postseason football.
Yeah, honestly. But at the same time, it was sort of good in the sense that our team was a first year team, so it was kind of like we were more focused on getting a fan base, putting up good games, showing that Munich is something to be taken serious, and yeah, I feel like we did that. So now this season it's like all out. We're trying to go all out this year, so
Mhm.
And I truly do feel if we keep everybody, then we should be good. We should be good.
Yeah. And like that, Munich itself, such a great city to have a football team, and of course,
It
sports
is.
matter in
It
terms
is.
of soccer.
Definitely.
Obviously with
Definitely.
Bayern and how good they are. You've got a real sort of nucleus of sports fans there that if you can, continue the success, you'll definitely get more people
100%.
interested in the game.
100%. 100%. Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's the goal, honestly. Like, we had like over 6,000 fans at games and so on. So, yeah, the more we get, the better. And I feel like for the first year, having that many is pretty big. It's fairly big. So, yeah,
Mhm.
I'd imagine next year is going to be bigger.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. And you know, with with the changes that obviously you had to make with, first of all, it wasn't, you didn't go straight from, the Crusaders to the Ravens. You also spent time with the Comets too, but what was it like, having that change of moving away from home, new scenery, new culture, was it a bit hard to get used to at the start?
Yeah, that's a great question. Honestly, um, yeah, it's fairly tough. Like, getting used to the language, especially, getting used to like the fact that you're not at home with the family is completely new. Stepping out of your comfort zone completely. Um, yes, it's not easy, but it is. I can't say it was definitely worth it in terms of thank God everything's worked out. But yeah, it's not easy. It's not something you just get up and do as well. You really have to think about it, you know. Especially my first year in Algoy, that was fairly tough because just so much going on. Football's a lot faster. Um, People are also, fast as well, just as athletic. So it was it was new. It was definitely something new as well with the football. So it just took some time to get used to. But once I did get myself kind of situated, it became easier. And that's why for me, last year with my first season in Algoy, I didn't really, I wasn't on the scene until the end of the season because I was growing. And then once they saw the growth, they were willing to start me. And then that's when I was able to kind of make a name for myself. But
Mhm.
yes, it's not easy to be fair. It's not.
Yeah. Yeah, and then tell me, going um from the Comets to the Ravens, was it something that they approached you and wanted to bring you on board, or was there some contact made on your end to try and
Yeah,
get potential teams interested?
yeah, definitely. I text every team in the ELF, and the only team that the only two teams that took me serious were Ravens and Hamburg Sea Devils. But yeah, when I talked with Coach Shoup and Sean Shelton, it was kind of like, yeah, this is where I want to be. This is where I feel I belong. And
Mhm.
yeah, it worked out. It worked out. But no, I definitely was trying to talk to everybody and anybody who would want to talk. So yeah, I definitely reached out on my part. I did.
Yeah. Well, look, I guess when making the decision, seeing especially those um, Munich jerseys for sure. I think that's probably a swaying factor too, because they have a clean look for sure.
They do. That little, like, what's that blue called? It's not teal. That's what it's called.
Teal.
Yeah, it's the teal
Yeah,
and the black. Yeah, it's very nice. It's very
yeah,
nice.
for sure. For sure. And obviously, a couple of weekends ago, you came back to Ireland. Obviously still here at the moment, but you got to go down to the Steelers event on the weekend that they were doing
I
their
did.
viewing party down
I
in the
did.
sports campus. How did you find that?
That was amazing, honestly. The different people that were there. Allen, the old lineman, the receiver, Hall of Famers, which is amazing. And like what they're trying to do with Ireland and everything is it puts a smile on my face in terms of like I've been playing football in Ireland since I was 16, and it's just crazy because like I would have never thought the Steelers would come to Ireland, if you get me, back then, because we were playing in somebody's backyard, basically. Like, football was not looked at as anything to be taken serious. So now to definitely see how much football is growing in Ireland is big. It's amazing, honestly. It is.
Yeah, yeah, and seeing the lads there for the event, and obviously getting to chat with a few of the younger guys that coming up through the game, and seeing just as well, the elevation of the national team in terms of they've obviously played a few more games, but now they have the under 20s team as well that are taking part in games too.
Yeah.
The talent level is just getting better and better each year, and I guess it comes down to as well seeing players like yourself going over and making a name for themselves over in Europe, and then obviously Lopez Sanusi, who went to the NFL Academy and now is going to be going to Boise State. Guys see. Should have mentioned also Dan Whelan, who was actually in the NFL playing for the Packers as well.
Still is,
They see that there's avenues for them to actually make a career and to make something out of the game, and it's like that they can see a route.
Yeah. No, I get what you mean. I think it was only a matter of time, I guess. I guess in Ireland they just never had the exposure. And now that like people like Tyke, the leader kicker and all those are getting that much more exposure, it's bringing in more people, because I've always said it, we have the athletes. Like, I remember playing Gaelic and guys just high points in the ball and everything, and that's exactly what a wide receiver would do. So it's like the talent is definitely there, and even with rugby, the strength of some of the lads, like that's a linebacker there. Like, I'm thinking football wise, anytime I'm playing with them, it's like we definitely have it here. It's just no one's interested, or we just don't have the exposure enough for people to be invested in it. So it's just about exposure, I guess. Because now that it's being
Yeah.
exposed, it's like more people are like, all right, let's try it out. Let's see what the hype is about. And yeah, you will love it. You will love it. You'll either hate it or love it. To be
Yeah.
honest, yeah.
Well, that's it. And look, we see it down here with the Pirates, and I'm sure it's the same up in Kildare too. That once you get the guys to come down to a session and see how it is, and see how it's ran, and to see how guys learn, and how more not difficult, but how more intricate of a sport it is in terms
Yeah.
of playbooks and routes and footwork and everything. That's something that they get to really learn. And I feel that like when people come down, once they see how the game is played and how it really is played, that they don't really tend to leave it. It's something that they get really invested in.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. And like
Yeah.
football teaches a lot as well. Like, even just mentally, physically, like there's a lot that goes into football. So it's not just the physical aspect that everybody sees. Like, there is a lot of stuff to go through. There is. It
Yeah.
teaches a lot as well.
Yeah. And I know you spoke about it on previous podcasts too, but your start came about as well. Like you said, you've been playing since you were 16, and um, what was the initial pitch to you to sort of get you down to a training session?
Um, like I had on a football top at the time, and my mate Farlow, Jordan Farrell, yeah.
Hmm.
I was in the gym. I don't know what I was doing, but I was in the gym, and he came over and was like, "Oh yeah, come down to training." And I knew Farlow from Derry Rovers, which was where we played soccer, football together. So I was like, "All right, if there's a team, like I'd be down to come down." And then went
Hmm.
down, and didn't go well the first training session, of course, but yeah, just started building from there. Uh,
Hmm.
in in football, I wasn't getting much playing time, so it was like I might as well do somewhere I'll be used. And then yeah, they just used me a lot in American football. So and then yeah, that's kind of just went from there. Went
Hmm.
from there.
And sort of with your experience playing last season, especially in the ELF, and you see, I don't know if you've been able to keep as close an eye on the league over here as you would like to, but for the future in terms of like we were just saying, the talent pool is there, the ability for people is there.
Yeah,
Could you ever see a Dublin side or a side in Ireland in general sort of try and come together and make a move to be an ELF team?
definitely, definitely, 100%. Like if we put all the teams together, like in terms of the best of each position or the best players from each position on one team, I definitely think we could have one. And also, if we got the right coaches, because it also is down to coaching, because some coaches teach some different stuff that just unfortunately won't work. So if we get the right coaches, because athletic wise, I feel like we could definitely compete. We just need the coaching, and once we get that, I don't see why we couldn't have one. Definitely.
Mm-hmm. Tell me now, what you are a GM of an Irish ELF team.
Right.
Talk me through that jersey design. What are we going with? Are we going traditional green, orange, white, or are we going to change it up a little bit?
I'd probably stick with that Wolfhounds color because I do like the green,
Yeah,
black, white. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I definitely go with the green, black, and white. Yeah, those would be my colors. Definitely.
It it's a
Those
great show.
Wolfhound
It's a great
colors
show.
would be
I
very nice. Yeah.
I wouldn't change them either. To be fair, I would I'd agree with that. I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
For sure. But then going away from the ELF side of things and looking like we were mentioning about the Steelers event, and obviously in Munich they had the NFL game there last year. The the thing we'd love to see here is another NFL game in Crow Park. There hasn't been one since, I believe, was it 96 or 98?
Wow.
That's when the Steelers and the Bears came over for a sort of preseason exhibition. But to have an actual game over here is obviously is the goal and is the dream.
Yeah.
Seeing what the NFL seeing what the NFL has done over in Munich and what has done for the city of Munich in terms of
Yeah.
having a game over there.
Yeah.
What do you think it could do for Ireland if the NFL was to set a game up over here, even just for the teams alone?
Yeah. I think it could do big because even with the college games, we've seen like a load of people come in for those. Like, unfortunately, I haven't been to any of the college games, but I heard like Notre Dame came and like it was sold out. So an Irish
Yeah,
game or an American football game with the actual NFL teams, I think that would
yeah.
sell out. And I feel like the more people you bring in, the more exposure, people are gonna be like, "Oh, lads, let's go find a team. Like, let's go try this out." And
Mhm.
once we get that going, yeah, it'll do wonders for American football in Ireland. I truly think that. Yeah,
That's it for sure. And that's how I was there for the Notre Dame game that you were mentioning, and yeah, the place was packed.
yeah,
As compared to the year before, what was in Nebraska and Northwestern, where there was unfortunately a few empty patches, but
okay,
like that, the game next year will probably be packed as well. I think what one is that? Is that Georgia Tech and Florida State? I
okay,
think that's who it's going to be next year. So
right,
that we have a
okay,
great game in store for that. But look, Tommy, we're coming towards the end of this, and look, I would be remiss if I didn't ask sort of your plans now for next year.
yeah,
Like you mentioned, you are back in Ireland at the moment.
yeah.
Um, is, is the plan hopefully to go back to Munich and play another season with the Ravens, or is there something else maybe in store?
To be honest, I'm just praying because me myself personally, I'm not too sure what's in store. To be honest, at this moment, like I'm just praying and just staying ready for whatever God has in store for me. Because honestly, I'm not too sure what's going on. Like ELF wise, if I was in the ELF or if I am in the ELF, I definitely want to play with Munich again because I truly think we'll be contenders. But yeah, it's all in God's hands, to be honest. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
me myself, I'm not too sure what's happening.
Yeah. Well, look, I think that'd be crazy not to give you a call and bring you back next year, especially just
Yeah,
with how good last season was for sure. And if not, definitely, there will be a team out there that will that hopefully will pick up the phone for you, and then we get to see you again, rip it up in the ELF
yes, sir.
next year. Tommy, it's been absolutely fantastic speaking to you.
Appreciate that.
I hope you have a great Christmas.
You too.
And I hope you have a great new year. And then, look, listen, I mean this in the nicest way possible.
Yep.
I hope I don't see you on the field against Kildare next season.
Yeah. Same here. Same here. Amen to that. Amen to that. Amen to
You
that.
know, I don't think I could take another one of like 2-3 touchdown games against you again. It's not fair on me anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll avoid that.
Like I
We'll
said,
avoid that.
like I said, hopefully we'll keep in touch, and sure when the day comes that you were announcing your return to ELF, hopefully you'll give us a call, and we'll be able to sort of help spread the word out there for sure.
We'll do. We'll do. Definitely. Thanks, Dara.
Excellent stuff. This is where we're going to end this edition of the show. A big thank you to Tommy. I meant to say, if anybody wants to follow your progress online, where can they follow you on your socials?
Instagram is pretty much the only one I have at the moment. Just Tomiwa _Oyewo. Yeah.
Excellent. So make sure you follow them on that. And while you're at it, if you're on Instagram, follow ourselves at @UnderCenterPod. That's where you'll find us. And we are also on Twitter or X or whatever it's called at @UnderCenterPod. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you've liked this video and you're subscribed to the channel to be kept up to date with all of our shows that we release. If you're listening to us on the go in the podcast form, make sure you are subscribed to us on that as well. If you want to search us first, Under Center Podcast, wherever you get them, Spotify, Google, wherever, Apple, wherever, we'll be there. You'll find us. Subscribe, listen back to previous shows as well. Once more, Tommy, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, Dara. Thank you.
And until next time, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.
Yes, sir.